So today we'll be working in my workbook called Onward to the Cross, which is a chronological look at Passion Week. And if we look at the table of contents here, uh, and then we can also apply this to each day of Passion Week. On Sunday, which was the first day of the week, Jesus rides into Jerusalem on a colt of the donkey. This is chapter 1. We know this is Palm Sunday. People welcome him by laying palm branches in their cloaks on the road for him to ride on. They sing Hosanna to the Son of David. These people feel confident he is the Messiah. Then, although we know the sequence of events and the days of the week, we're not clear exactly what days the next few things happen on. It is generally believed that continuing on Sunday, Jesus comes to the temple, which is chapter 2, and clears it out of robbers and thieves. He also heals the blind and the lame. This is also when the chief priests and scribes are indignant, when the children are shouting in the temple courts, Hosanna to the Son of David, and try to get Jesus to stop the children shouting, but they fail. Early in the morning, which we assume is Monday morning, Jesus sees a withered fig tree. This is the end part of chapter 2 in my book, probably near the Garden of Gethsemane, and curses it because it did not bear fruit. This was done to teach the disciples that if their faith is strong enough, they too can do what was done to the fig tree. Then during that day, in chapter 3, Jesus is questioned by the rulers, first by the chief priests and elders in the temple courts. Not only does Jesus stop their accusations, but then Jesus tells 3 parables to the people, pointing out that the chief priests and elders are no longer welcome in the kingdom of God. Then we believe it's on Tuesday that the Pharisees and Sadducees try to trap Jesus with his own words, which is chapter 4. This also doesn't work. Jesus points out all the hypocrisy of the rulers to the common Jews standing there. We continue with Tuesday with today's events with chapter 5. We did chapter 5. Chapter 5 in the hypocrisy and the 7 woes also was on Tuesday. So now chapter 5, the widow's 2 mites, we believe is on Tuesday as well. So let me get to that. Correct? This is where we're starting, right?
Yes.
The widow's 2 mites, Luke 20:45 to 21:4.
While all the people were listening, Jesus said to his disciples, "Beware of the teachers of the law. They like to walk around in flowing robes."
Right. So number 1's opinion question, what is wrong with the teachers of the law walking around in flowing robes?
They love the power of the position and they're not men of God.
Right. Well, they think they're men of God, but they walk around in major
Yeah.
robes and so look so important when really their hearts are full of sin. The Sanhedrin was a Jewish ruling council that met in the temple every day. They interpreted and taught scripture and created the oral traditions everyone had to follow. The Sanhedrin was made up of 71 Jews from either the Pharisees or Sadducees and was presided over by the high priest. Jesus refers to the Sanhedrin in many ways: chief priests and elders, teachers of the law and scribes, and Pharisees. So he kind of refers to it in different ways, but he's really talking about the people that are part of the Sanhedrin. What is another name for teachers of the law?
Sanhedrin.
Actually, the teachers of the law is the scribes.
Is it?
Sanhedrin is the Jewish ruling council, and the teachers of the law, scribes, or lawyers. Sometimes they're called lawyers, but we don't have it translated that way because we get mixed up with our lawyers.
Oh. Okay. And love to be greeted with respect in the marketplaces.
Jesus had a problem with the members of the Sanhedrin because they were hypocrites. The definition of hypocrisy is pretending to be someone you are not. The Pharisees and Sadducees gave an outward show of how great and wonderful they were, yet they really were not men of God in any way, but merely men who loved the power of the position and used it to their advantage. So, number one, what is wrong with loving to be greeted with respect in the marketplace?
What is wrong with loving to be greeted? Oh, because they want approval of men and not God.
Right. I mean, it's okay to go to a group and you be respected and greeted. But if you're going expecting that, going expecting people to give you honor and prestige, that's the difference. What is the difference? What definition of hypocrisy?
Pretending to be someone you're not.
Right. What of the following would be hypocritical acts? A, praying loud and hard so everyone could hear, but not caring if God hears.
Yes.
Praying in your prayer closet so it's only between you and God.
No.
Letting everyone know how much you gave to the church so you would look good in their eyes.
Yes.
Giving your tithe secretly so only you and God know the amount.
No.
Demanding people give you respect because you are such a great person.
Yes.
Taking joy in helping others, especially when they're not aware of your help.
No.
Yes. Sometimes I like to use examples. It's easier to understand what's going on.
Yeah. Because, like, when my sister was having hard times, I would go over there for my church's help. When they give out baskets for Thanksgiving, I would get a basket and put it on my sister's porch. She always thought it was somebody else. She never thought it was from me because I never told her. I never
Well,
told her.
good. So you have that treasure in heaven. Now, just realize if she ever figured it out, it's okay. You still have the treasure in heaven. But
I don't know. They devour widows' houses and for a show make lengthy prayers. These men will be punished most severely.
first of all, they're devouring widows' houses. And we see in another area, and I'm not quite sure if it's here or someplace else, where their statement of Corbin is that they've allocated so much money to God. And if that's the case, then they don't, if they're if that money includes the money they should be using for supporting the widows of their household, the widows aren't taken care of. And God said that's not how it's supposed to be. So, you're supposed to take care of your widows, that's priority. Uh, and then they make lengthy prayers. I hear lots of praying, and I'm sure you do too. Some people go through flowery prayers, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm just talking to God. I'm not using all these extra words. And
Yeah.
you know, but it's pretty easy for humans to get into this type of thing about let's show off, even in prayer.
Yeah. Right. Jesus looked up, he saw the rich putting their gifts into the temple treasury.
Right. And there was a large bowl, whatever, that they would put it in and it would all clink. No credit cards at that time, no checks. So it was coin and it would clink, clink, clink. And the sound of the coin kind of gave people the idea of how much money you put in. If the rich wanted to get the praise of men instead of God, how would they put their money in the temple treasury?
Make sure people see them put money into the temple treasury, or even like you said, the noise.
Right. Make a lot of noise, make people hear it, make it in a time when there's most people around, etc. Jesus criticized the wealthy with only wealthy could be in the Sanhedrin. What? Can you finish A, B, and C?
Oh, yeah. Okay. A is walk around in flowing gowns or robes. B, greeted with respect in the marketplace. C, devour widows' houses for a show of lengthy prayers.
Right. So let's see if Jesus is upset with how the rich put their gifts in the temple treasury.
He also saw a poor widow put in two very small copper coins.
So what is a widow? Obviously, we know what a widow is. I make these books for all ages. Widow is
Yeah.
a person who doesn't have a husband,
Yeah.
basically. We have widowers, but they are not as important as widows. How many
Yeah.
coins did the widow put in the temple treasury?
Two small copper coins.
Did this widow have a lot of money?
No.
What kind of coin would be the most valuable? Gold, silver, or copper?
Gold.
What kind of coin would be the least valuable? Gold, silver, or copper?
Copper.
If the widow was poor, why did she put any money in the treasury?
Because she loved God.
Right, correct?
Truly, I tell you, he said, this poor widow has put in more than all the others. All these people gave their gifts out of their wealth, but she, out of her poverty, put in all she had to live on.
Right. And this gets back to the fact that God doesn't really need our help, but he asks us to help, and our giving is a show of being obedient to him. And it isn't the amount you give, it's the amount compared to what you have, you give to show how sacrificial it is. Make sense?
Yeah.
So complete the sentence in number 1.
The rich men gave their gifts out of their wealth.
Do you think that it was a sacrifice for the rich to give gifts out of their wealth?
No, because they were already wealthy.
Yeah, so if you have $1 million, what's $100? You know,
Yeah.
okay, so go ahead and complete number 3.
The widow gave out of her poverty. She put in all that she had to live on.
Whose faith was stronger, the widow's or the rich man?
The widow.
Does this mean we are supposed to give everything we have to the church? Why or why not?
No, giving is more important than how much we give.
Right. The widow gave all she had, and God, we don't have the continuation of this story, but God surely would have taken care of her. But that doesn't mean we give everything we have. It is kind of a commitment between you and God. I think I've told you how I came to tithing. Um, I was believing in the significance of it, tithing meaning 10%. When I was a single mother raising 3 kids, having 2 jobs and not making enough to pay the bills. And I'm thinking, Lord, how am I supposed to tithe? I can't do this. And even though I could read all the scriptures say you can, God will provide for you, blah, blah, blah. I didn't have that kind of faith. So I said, okay, God, I agree that I need to tithe, but I can't do that feasibly because it's just me. So I said, what I'll do is I will give you, oh, and I don't know what it was, but I will give you $5, and then every paycheck I will up that and see what happens. And it wasn't too long before I was given a couple $100, and I couldn't figure out how I was getting that out of my funds, and things were going much better than I ever did before. So it was like,
Wow,
whoa, but that's how I tell a lot of the ladies, that's how you can start. You can start with what you know you can do and move it forward with the faith you have, and God will show you that he will take care of you. And
yeah, that's a good testimony.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we get to the crossword of this book already, this story already. Number 4, who put in 2 small copper coins in the temple treasury?
Widow.
Number 5 across. Pharisees love to be greeted in,
Marketplaces.
and 1 down. What is pretending to be something you are not?
Hypocrisy.
Yeah,
Hypocrisy.
hypocrisy. Yeah.
Hypocrisy. I always say that.
2, what is the Jewish ruling council?
Sanhedrin.
Sanhedrin. Yeah, Sanhedrin.
Sanhedrin.
Yeah. Number 3, the teachers of the law like to walk around in flowing
Robes.
And number 6, the Pharisees love to make a show of lengthy
Prayers.
Right, exactly. All righty, and let me turn this off.